Diederik Gelderman here, and I'm with Mary Shields. Hello, Mary. How are you?
Hi, Diederik. Great. How about yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. So first up, I should make the confession, I guess, that Mary, this is your and my first rodeo, isn't it,
It
with
sure
this
is.
technology? So I believe I'm frozen right now.
Yes, you
Still?
are. Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, you don't need to see me anyway at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, so Mary is the founder of the of MBF Loyalty, and the reason I've asked her to come along and do this interview is because of the conflict that I've always had with pet wellness plans and loyalty and that sort of mix. And if you want to read my thoughts about it, hi Ed. If you want to read my thoughts about it, then grab yourself a copy of the 5-minute practice management console, in which I've written quite a few chapters, and you'll see my thoughts on that. And when I met Mary, I thought it was a really good opportunity to focus on wellness and loyalty, and to learn from the expert. So that's the purpose of today's webinar, training, Facebook Live. I don't know what to call it. So Mary, before learning about MBF Loyalty, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. And hi, Ed. It's great to see you in attendance. We haven't spoken in a while, but I'd love to. So I've been in marketing and client communications my entire career. I worked for many large corporations with multi-channel solutions, with voice, text, email, and worked at the enterprise level. And my focus was always to drive results, drive response to communications. I did have my own marketing agency for 11 years that serviced small businesses. And after I went back and worked in corporate America, I thought it was time. I need to get innovative again, wanted to work with small businesses again, and love technology. So I started building out a client communications platform at that time. In parallel, I got my first dog, a little mini dachshund. And when I went to my vet, who's also a good friend of mine, she loved what we were doing. And she wanted a reminder system, a text messaging reminder system. And we, at that point, got relationships with some of the leading industry providers. And that's how we got into the veterinarian industry. So we've kind of brought all of our expertise in marketing and communications, and have been sharing that with our clients in the veterinarian industry.
Oh, interesting career path to end up in vet now, and I think I'm still frozen, but
Yes.
if I'm not, I've been patting my Doberman, wants to be let out, and he's here bashing his head on my knee wanting to be let out. So if I'm been jiggling and it's shown up, that's why. So so my conflict with loyalty programs has always been this concept of polygamous loyalty, and I think we're all guilty of that. We all have 15 airlines cards, 5 coffee vet cards, half a dozen cards for home hardware and all those sort of places. So Mary, tell us about MBF rewards and how what you do helps drive business to practices.
Great. So let me start with kind of explaining how we got to where we are and what we looked at and why we kind of developed what we developed. So the first thing that we looked at were the pet wellness programs out in the industry. And I don't think that anybody can argue that they drive nice results from a financial perspective, from a patient compliant perspective. That's what we found. The problem that we found was that there was low participation. So it might be 10%, and that might have come from your top 20% of clients. So how do you get that great financial results and dig deeper down into your base? So that's what we found. And we also found with pet wellness programs why it was the participation was low, because they were cumbersome. There's a lot of friction for a client to join. And there was a lot of work and resources on the clinic's part to get them set up. So then we wanted to look at loyalty rewards programs that are in the retail space and even punch cards within the veterinary space. And what we found with those programs were that they had very high participation because there wasn't as much friction. It was easy for clients to join, and they were simple for the hospital to implement. The problem is that they weren't impacting compliance. They weren't getting the client to come back more frequently. They may have had a revenue component that looked on the outside, looked strong for the practice, but when you looked at the impact on profitability, it didn't really have much of an impact. So we liked what we saw with wellness and rewards having high participation. We didn't necessarily like the results. So what we wanted to do was find a way to create a program that was kind of a hybrid of those two type of programs. And that's exactly what we did with the pet rewards program.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. I was talking to a South African client over the last couple of days. He's been a client on and off for years, and I received an email from them this morning with exactly what you were saying. We've got a wellness program and we can't sell it. Why? And yeah, there's so much, and I like your term, friction. Clients don't understand it, and it's very hard to join up. So what have you done to get that whole thing to work well?
Okay. So what we did was we wanted it to make it easy for everybody to join. We wanted to take it out of the hands of the practice to get the membership to sign up. Of course, the practice team can certainly sign them up, and we encourage and we look for the leadership of the practice to support the program and ensure that the staff signs them up. But we needed to move beyond that. We needed to ensure that the program's successful. So the design of the program starts with that anybody can sign up for the program. They can sign up, and once they sign up, they start earning rewards. That's kind of the rewards component of it, right? So when you think of the program, they can sign up. They can sign up from the hospital's website. They can sign up from their reminder system. They can sign up from their blog. Any digital asset that the practice has, they can register for the program. Once they register, they can start earning rewards.
Okay.
So when you think about that, you can run a Google AdWords campaign and have them sign up for the loyalty program, and now use your program as a client acquisition tool. When they
sorry, I'm still frozen. Am I still frozen?
You are. I'm waiting to send you a note that you're not frozen.
Right. So that's really interesting that you've made it so easy to sign up, so they can sign up on the back of their SMS vaccination recall or their email vaccination recall. So there's no effort required on the on the team's part, and I guess the client signs up electronically, and it's sort of dead easy. They go to a landing page and that's it, and it doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah, that's right. And I like that you mentioned it goes to a landing page, because that's exactly what it does. It goes to a landing page. The client can then sign up, and we begin the sales funnel. Because I said the word client, but it might be a prospect, or it might be a client that we need to get back in the door. So we start that sales funnel, start that communication, and get them into the practice.
And I guess something interesting that, and we certainly haven't rehearsed or role played or scripted this this rodeo. So sorry about the interruptions. One of the things just that came to my mind then is one of the opportunities that exists in a lot of practices that they don't harness particularly well is or are a lapsed vaccination recall or lapsed annual health check. And I guess you could almost say to the client, come back now, we'll give you an extra 100 reward points if you reactivate your vaccination on your annual health check.
Yeah, you certainly can. So I know we're jumping around a bit, but you know, the most important part of a loyalty program is the data that you collect, right? And the ability to communicate with them with a reward that they've earned. So it's leverage that you always have to communicate to bring the client back. So absolutely, you're right. There's definitely that ability to do that. You can look at, from our rewards program, you can look at clients that are lapsed and send out a one-to-one message via email, or you can do a campaign as well.
I've seen loyalty programs of various kinds where when you join, the first transaction is free. So just by getting your clip coupon for your coffee shop, your first coffee is free. I mean, that's a bit of a jump into the pool by the provider, but it certainly says I'm trustworthy. I'm here for you and everything else. It's a hell of a hook to get someone to make that first transaction. And if you do your job well, it's a great opportunity to acquire a client and retain them because of your trust and everything else, or trustability.
Right, and that's a really good point. One of we see out in the industry, many hospitals offer a first-time patient visit for free, and they see good results with that. So we're not gonna change that. But what we do want to say is that they have to join your membership to get that free first exam, because now they're in our membership communication database. So we want to ensure that this hospital that has invested so heavily in this new client exam, right, that we're going to make it work harder. We're going to make sure we're going to get that client back in for the second and third visit. And they're just not a coupon shopper looking for that one-time visit. We're going to turn them into a loyal client. So we work with the clinic strategy, we understand it, and then we incorporate it into the program.
So that was my next question is you know, we talked about landing page, and I guess the landing page is always the beginning of a funnel. So does the practice design that funnel and the communication? Do you do it? Is it through their website? Is it through your website? Do they have to join up to Infusionsoft or MailChimp or Constant Contact or something? How does all that work? Because my thought would be if a practice has to do more than nothing, they're probably not going to do it because it's just too hard. It's technology, and that's what they don't like. Yeah,
so we keep it pretty simple. We definitely have best practices. I did mention that we've been running this program for almost 2 years now, so we've got lots of data and best practices determined. Our communication plan is very strong, and we highly recommend that they select and use what we've developed. If they've got specific requirements, requests, absolutely, it's all custom to their specific needs and their brand. So for example, when we start working with a practice, we understand what their top three goals are for the year, and we incorporate that into the loyalty program. And by the way, some of our clients have pet wellness programs, and we work that into the loyalty program as a level of the loyalty program. So we've been very successful in, coexisting with loyalty programs, because typically the hospital will tell us 10-15% of our clients are in the program. What are you doing with the other 85-90% of your base, right? Let's offer something else that we can build loyalty among them. And then maybe next year they'll join your wellness program, right? So we help wellness programs.
So the marketing stream, you've got that sort of organized in-house already with how you think it should run?
We do. And then we do. That's exactly right. They don't have to sign up for a Constant Contact or a landing page or whatnot. We've got that down, and we'll provide it for them.
Okay, and then, okay, cool. That's great, because like I said, I see so many practices that want to do those sorts of things, and they think, technology. Okay, so Ed's got a question. Mary, I'm assuming you can see it as well.
Again, and I just put it on screen. So that's a great question, because I only explained the first part of the program, which was the free component to get everybody to join. So once they join and we have that landing page and the client acquisition and we have them in the funnel, now when they're in the practice, we can take them to the next level. So they're in the practice, we've got their ear, we've got their heartstrings, right? And we're ready to talk about wellness. They may have come in for a sick patient visit, and our entry level option for the client as an upsell might be 2 wellness exams or a sick patient and a wellness exam that they can purchase, right? Now for the practice, they'd get the money up front and we are almost 100% sure that client's coming back, and it was an easy decision for the client. And so they purchase that, they get 5% back on all their purchases through the year, and we know they're coming in for 2 exams. So Ed, if you have further questions on that, let me know. But you can have multiple packages. So maybe your top level package is your really extensive wellness plan that you have with a payment option, right? A little more challenging, for a little more friction for the client to join. But our goal is to increase that client visit and to get a client in for 2 exams this year. So we're going to work with the hospital on that.
So a question, and I'm going to come back to that 5%. So, and this is a question I get asked a lot and I see a lot, so I'm going to put it to you. So the average practice around the States at the moment, and in fact around the world, nets, 9% after all expenses. So they turn over $1 million, they pay all their expenses, and they take home an extra $90,000 for their effort on top of their wages. So if they're going to return $50,000 of that to the client, 5%, off the top line, that only leaves them a take home of $40K. So obviously the program has to grow their net by well beyond 5% to be successful financially. So can you just talk me through that?
Yeah, absolutely. Our program is focused on the most profitable services of the clinic, right? And so you're giving 5% back on services. You're not giving it on product. You're taking a look at services that are your most profitable, that you're driving them towards. And so that's really where we're different than giveaways and punch cards that have really limited impact on profitability. But let me walk you through a scenario. So a client joins the program and they come in for their first visit, right? And on that first visit, it's business as usual. So they basically pay their full invoice, right? Yep. So for instance, I had a meeting with a clinic. Whoops, I think we lost Diederik for a minute. Oh, he's back, yay. So what I was explaining was we had a clinic. 60% of their appointments are sick patient, right?
Yep.
So wellness, they need a push towards wellness, changing the client base to be more proactive with taking care of their pet, right? Client comes in for a sick patient visit. 60% of their clients come in. They pay their invoice when they leave, 100% of their invoice, but they've earned 5% rewards.
Yep.
Okay. Now we've got leverage to communicate with that client to get them back in for their wellness visit. Okay. Yes. Even to get them to book into the future because they have 5% reward. So when we're working with the team, we let them know, hey, this is a great time to forward book, get that wellness exam. You've been in the office, you're caring about your pet right now, let's get them booked. So we just got that client back in for a wellness exam, which might have an average value of it at 175, 150, 200, 300, whatever it is for that hospital. So you can see we've got not only additional revenue, we've switched the kind of the pattern of the way this client's take care of their pet as well, and pushing them towards wellness visits.
So you're incrementally increasing sales, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, we are. And we're focused on those highly profitable services, right? Versus
Yes.
product gimmicks or whatnot. We're pushing compliance.
Yep, cool. That makes sense. I just saw another question flash up from Ed. I don't know if you want to answer that now.
Sure. So the question is, does the clinic charge the client to join the program? So there's a free version to get everybody in. That's the client acquisition, right? So it's probably worth that 5% giveaway to bring new clients into the practice. And that's a reward in the future. So they have to come in twice to earn that reward if it's a new client. But then you can upsell them, right? And so you can upsell them into your pet wellness program. You might consider that a charge. Or you can have a membership that's a membership fee. Let's say it's 2 exams, and that includes 2 exams and maybe a free nail trim. And you have a price on that. You get the money up front, you call it a membership fee, and it includes certain services. So the structure of that really is dependent upon your practice. And we go whether it's a rehabilitation practice, if you're focused on boarding, if you're focused, on compliance, wellness exams, we work with you on how that could be structured. We want to keep it really simple. We want to keep it really easy. We want participation really high.
Yeah, I'm just making some notes because I love this concept, and I'm just actually thinking through a lot more opportunities. Yeah, there's so much opportunity for once you get them in the door to ethically upsell them into other things needed by the pet at that time, and that requires a little bit of training, which is beyond the scope of this conversation. But yeah, just to get them in the door, wow.
So, Diederik, one of the things I know we're talking kind of about the ins and outs of the landing page and how to bring clients in, but I will point out that a big differentiator with this program, it offers the ability for the clinic to create a sales funnel for client acquisition. And that's something that most clinics do not do today. So typically they've got the practice management solution and they've got their database, but they're not commuting one-on-one to prospects that may have visited their website and left their website. We're working with their website to capture that prospect and now start communicating with them even before they become a client. So we've created a sales funnel and we're converting prospects into clients.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm doing with my coaching practices. We are setting up sales funnels and Facebook ads and Google AdWords and everything else, and then putting them into a sales funnel that, maybe in 3 months, maybe in 6 months, maybe in 12 months gets them into the practice. And there's a lot of work in that and quite a lot of technology, as I said, can convert kit, infusion software, whatever. This simple that works really well, really well. But as I said, so much technology, this makes it so much simpler. So I think that's fantastic.
It really does. It certainly does.
So,
go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say there's another component of the program as well from an acquisition standpoint that as a company we're going to be focused more on in 2018, and that is a component where if a hospital has established a 501(c) for their practice, they can donate a portion of the client's loyalty points to the 501(c). So they're nonprofit.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. That's an Americanism. Sorry, I didn't mean to use that word in a rude way. But for the non-Americans on the call, what is a 501(c)?
A nonprofit associated with the hospital, where it's that fund that they can dip into to help pets in the community in need.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So go on.
And the power of that program, which people have not capitalized on in an effective way to draw new clients, is that millennials do business with organizations that, contribute to society.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
hospitals are looking to draw the millennials into their practice. And so this is a phenomenal way to do that. And so with our sales funnel, we can position it by focusing on those millennials, right? And having our message really speak to them. They join loyalty rewards programs at very high rates, and they like contributing to the cause. So our model works very well to attract that.
Okay. Cool. No, that makes perfect sense, and I agree with you. Millennials want to, and I mean this in a respectful way, not in a disparaging way, but they want to work with businesses that want to save planet, people, pets, all those sorts of things, which is just fantastic. Right. So we've been going, 25 minutes, 26 minutes now, have we, if I've got the time right?
Yep.
Cool. So we're going to post this on Facebook for anybody that couldn't make it live today, or for anyone that wants to review it. But for anybody that wants to contact you to talk, because I know we could go on for another half hour, which would make it a bit long for most people. How do they get in contact with you? What should they do as their next step?
That's great. So I am going to, hopefully this just showed, I just put the contact information up on the screen.
It's there.
Great. Do you mind if I make a little offer to people in attendance?
Go for it.
The video?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, what we'd like to do for our base program is offer a 60-day free trial to anyone that mentions that they saw our Facebook Live broadcast today and sign up before the end of October. We'll give a 60-day free trial.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Have you got any sort of parting words or final comments or anything that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, one, thank you, Diederik, for giving me the opportunity to meet with you today and share the word about our pet wellness program. I know that you've shared a lot of great metrics with us in the past, and we really have worked hard on our metrics, which we'd love to share at a different time with your community as well, and how the program's performing. But we're really focused on helping increase the number of the hospital's clients that support their pets over health and wellness. And we're working hard every day to get that client to kind of switch from a sick pet mentality to bringing the pet in for their annual wellness exams. And when we do this well, we definitely improve the top line and bottom line results for the hospital.
And improve the outcome for the client and most importantly, the patient too.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Cool. Okay. If there's nothing else, you happy to wrap up?
Yeah, that's great. And thank you so much. This was a fun first time event of me being on Facebook Live. So look forward to do more of these.
First dance, first rodeo, and it all turned out well. Thank you very much, Mary. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Diederik.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.